Just give us immigration reform and don't treat us like dirt. It's not that hard. We're not asking for much. If anything, this is going to help the economy. And we're not asking for you to kiss the ground that we walk on. Just treat us with a little bit of decency. Just a little bit. It's not that hard. I promise you.
Bro, you came here illegally, so you're getting sent back. Like, I'm not really understanding where I'm supposed to feel bad. Like, it's the law. Like,
African American community is the only community that has the power in this country to change anything. They are the only ones that are going to save the Latinos. And I clap for the African American.
Bravo, bravo. That's what they look at black people as. The help. Not as allyship, just disposable help. Someone that they could put in front of them as a shield. And that's why a lot of these white Cubans left Cuba. It's not necessarily because of politics or ideology. It's because of racial equality. Before the Cuban Revolution, they used to discriminate against black Cubans. It was legal. Black Cubans didn't have access to healthcare or education, and they lived in poorer conditions where they served the white Cubans. After the Cuban Revolution, all that changed. They start promoting racial equality. Black Cubans start having access to healthcare, access to education. And a lot of white Cubans, that made them feel uncomfortable. They were used to the old Cuba, where they had an upper advantage on the black Cubans. They're not going to bring this information up freely. That's why when she says save us, servitude, you're nothing but the help, disposable help. Make my white Cuban life a little bit easier and comfortable since our white savior, Trump, is deporting us.
So Latinos voted for, black pain and all of that. And all of a sudden, they are now the ones finding out, okay, especially finding out that blacks cannot be deported as well as them, because a lot of them just keep coming to say, oh, after us, you guys are going to be next. You guys are going to be the next deported and all that. But somehow, they are now freaking out to find out that they will not be deported, okay, because they are actually Americans and not the other way around. So now you're having a lot of them now coming on the internet to say, oh, African Americans are the only ones who can save us right now. Maybe we should find a way to form allyship with them. But you guys remember that these guys actually voted against their own interests. And now that people are the ones facing the whole mass deportation. And this is exactly the whole FAFO stage for their vote. Okay, kind of finding our stage, right? Anyway, let's take a look at some of the clips I gathered for you guys, and I'll come back with a commentary and credit to all creators on this video. Let's go watch.
So wait, people really thought that African Americans were immigrants? Yeah, I know y'all lying. Don't immigrants go like on their own? If they go to a particular country on their own accord, because they may be trying to get away from whatever. We ain't come here because we wanted to be here. We still don't want to be here. Hell, we hoping that they maybe put us out and send us somewhere. Well, what do y'all mean y'all thought we were immigrants? Immigrants? Y'all know the story of how we got here? Do that make sense? Like, this world is so disillusioned about African Americans. We're descendants of Africa, but we've been here for hundreds of years. We're not first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation. Like, we've been here. We built this country. The foundation of this country is built by African Americans. We didn't come here because we want to be here. Like, what are y'all talking about? Y'all thought we were immigrants. Immigrants? Who? Where? Immigrants? I got papers to prove I ain't no immigrant. Like, some of the stuff that I hear on social media is correct. Like, for real, y'all thought we were immigrants. Come on now. Stop playing. We don't want to be here now. Get us out of here.
Latinos in the United States have not earned the support of black people for us to be demanding, oh yeah, why aren't they coming out to protest with us? Why aren't they engaging in activism with us? Because we haven't earned it at all, in the slightest. Or did you guys forget that 46% of all eligible Latino voters voted for Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election? Or how about the fact that racism, anti-blackness, colorism, all of these things are still very much pervasive in our communities? Bro, Latinos haven't even reconciled with the fact that they can't use the N-word unless they're also black themselves, because Afro-Latinos exist. Oh, and if we're talking about Miami, you'll see the whitest MAGA Latinos be like, bro, but I grew up in the hood. I grew up around black people. In Overtown or in Liberty City, I could say it, bro. No one's going to stop me from saying it. It's my right. I'm not racist. I have a black friend. We haven't even gotten over that. And we want black people to go to protest with us, to engage in activism with us, putting their lives, their freedom, their bodies on the line? No, I completely understand any black person that wants to just disengage, disregard us. I get it, guys. I really, really do. And we, as Latinos, as a collective, should not be harboring resentment against black people, criticizing them, getting angry at them, questioning them. No, because we've earned this. They are completely justified in feeling the way they feel and doing what they're doing. Now, I would like to give a message to the black folks watching this video. You are completely justified in your feelings and in doing what you're doing, and I respect it. But please remember that black folks are also being affected by this persecution of undocumented migrants. And I feel like that's not talked about enough either. Here, Miami, Florida is the best example. Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, Afro-Cubans, Afro-Hondurans, Garifunas, black people from all over Latin America and all over the world, Africans, just so many black people that are also undocumented that are really being affected by the persecution of this administration. And of course, much like any other entity in space, black folks in immigration detention centers in the immigration system are treated worse than their white, Latino, Asian counterparts. So it's really important to acknowledge that and just let you guys know. But yeah, Latinos, we need to tighten up. If you guys want the support of the black community, then earn it. Demonstrate that we can solve these issues of racism in our own communities, and please stop saying the N-word. If you're not black, don't say the N-word. It's really simple, actually.
Black people are tired of being a bank where everyone keeps making withdrawals and no one ever makes a deposit. And I want you to think about that. If that was your setup, would you still want to give? Especially for those of us in the Hispanic community, because it's about patterns that we've inherited and the harm that we've ignored. Me, myself, I'm Puerto Rican. I've seen how anti-blackness and colorism still show up in our homes, in our language, in our media, in our families. In many families, darker skin is treated like a disadvantage. When solidarity is needed, hesitation shows what's been internalized, and too many of us were raised to believe that aligning with blackness meant losing something: safety, opportunity, acceptance. And we were taught the proximity to whiteness would protect us, that staying quiet was safer. So if we don't unlearn that, we end up repeating the same harm we say we stand against. So disengagement is not okay. What's happening to immigrant communities right now is devastating. I'm not taking away from that, and it does deserve compassion and support. But a good portion of that fear didn't come from distant forces, and it came from within our own communities. I've spoken out because I've watched people I know support systems that were never created for us to begin with. Systems that weren't designed to protect us, only to use us when it's convenient. So while I've raised my voice, I also know too many that have stayed silent, or worse, they chose power. We don't get to ask for empathy if we're unwilling to confront the harm our silence helped protect. And contrary to popular opinion, holding each other accountable isn't betrayal. It's how we begin to heal. So to the black women and men that are saying we've poured into everybody and got nothing back, you're not wrong. You've carried movements, you've carried communities, you've carried generations without rest, without complaint, without question. And we cannot undo the silence that already has happened, but we can take responsibility for what happens next. I think people are not realizing we have way more similarities than differences, and we have more power together than we do apart. So look to your black brother or sister, look at them and say thank you, and I see you. Simple as that. Strike up a conversation, get to understand, because that's all they're asking for, to be seen and to be appreciated for all they do.
Now, they are finding out that Black Americans cannot be deported anywhere. They are also finding out that these people are real Americans. And you just wonder, like, what were they thinking in the first place? Like, what was in their mind? Because definitely there will be something in their mind before they actually had the thought that they had. Okay, you guys know that they voted differently, okay, from every other minority except for Asians, okay, because you still have Asians for Trump, a lot of them. And yet you have also not heard anything from the Asians talking about what is happening in the Latino community with the whole deportation and all that. Like few Asians are just talking about it, few of them, a lot of them, especially their celebrities, have not come out to really speak or even say a word about what is happening in their community. Safe to say that they are actually happy that it's happening, or they are comfortable with everything that is happening, so they're not saying a word, right? So, and for some people, they feel that they are also not minorities, according to some creators, right? Well, what I'm just trying to say is that why in God's name do Latinos actually feel that Black Americans are not indigenous people, like they are not from America? Like, why do they feel that they are not from there? Why do they feel that they are also immigrants like them? Like, these people literally did not get a visa to come to the US. They found themselves there. Their forefathers found themselves there. They brought them there. Okay, there's a difference between bringing people and also, you coming on your own. So these people are not immigrants as well as you guys. And that's why it's as if nobody's actually talking about deporting them, even though they're also looking for ways to make them talk. Maybe they have other plans, but deporting them to where exactly? Because you can only deport people who have countries. Look at what is happening to what's that guy's name? Abrego Garcia, okay, who was sent to El Salvador by mistake. And all of a sudden now they are also talking about sending him back to Uganda. Okay. That is where he's from. That is his originality, I think, from some of the videos I've watched online. But this guy has never been in that country. Like, I don't think he has been there. I don't even think he knows how to speak the language. Like, he literally knows nothing, but they are also sending him there because the country where you have, citizenship, your second citizenship, actually have right to tell you you will stay or not. Okay, they can revoke your visa at any time or your permit at any time. Like, do you understand? So now people are actually speaking up for the guy, but we already know what's happening, right? But what I'm just trying to say is that this guy, they can send him to maybe Uganda because they feel that's where he came from or his dad came from or whatever, even though he's a US citizen, right? But Black Americans, you can't even say where they're coming from. You can't say if they're coming from Nigeria or they're coming from any part of West Africa. Like, you can't literally say this is where they are coming from. Okay, even though some of them have done DNA and DNA has proven that they are from a part of West Africa or one other African country or the Caribbean or so, but that still does not mean that you will send them to a particular country because their forefathers was brought into the country and they have always been there, give birth to kids, and before you know it, they became FBAs. So you cannot say that these people are coming from this other place. They are Americans. So I am so shocked to hear that a lot of these people actually feel that Black Americans are not Americans, but they are immigrants. Okay, and now that they are deporting them, a lot of them keep saying you are next, you are next, you are next. Next in terms of deportation, no, but next in terms of any other thing, they might have other plans, which is actually ruling out with all the cleansing that is happening in different cities, making homelessness a crime and all of that is happening, just making people actually talk, cleaning the just so many things that's happening, right, that we have seen over time. But still, these people have said 2025 is their time of rest. Okay. And now you see Latinos who have always had you know, in their community is now coming out to ask these people to come out and protest alongside them. What were you guys thinking? Like, you will eat your cake and have it. I've never seen that happen anywhere, okay? Because the cake is already in your stomach, right? So you can eat your cake and still have it at the same time. And that's why it's as if these people have been silent, they're not talking about it and asking you, maybe you should ask other communities, probably the Asians. And some of these people making videos that say Black Americans are the only ones who can do this and do that. Like, at what point did you guys actually realize that? At what point did you make that decision? At what point did you have that thought? Well, guys, I would love to hear what your take is about today's video. Let's have that in the comments. And please do subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up as well so that more people can see it. And credit to all creators on this video. I look forward to seeing you all on my next video. Bye, guys.